Hey everybody, welcome to the channel Golf with James. So today I wanted to do a review of the Garmin Golf app. So if you're looking at a Garmin Golf watch or even a Garmin watch that isn't specific for golf, then one of the things that you might be wondering to yourself is what is the actual ecosystem like? And so I've played over the past 2 years over 100 rounds. And so I feel like I have a pretty good sense of what it's like to use the Garmin Golf app. So in this video, I want to go over things that, a general overview of the app, things that I like, things that maybe Garmin I think could do better, and just some other thoughts that you might appreciate knowing before you jump feet first into the Garmin ecosystem. All right, so I also do golf vlogs, and I've been playing for about 2.5 years now. I am right now hovering between a 9 and a 10 index, and I'm hoping to get to like a 5 or a 6 in my 3rd year. So if you guys want to follow that journey as well, there are a bunch of videos that are just going to be documenting my progress in that arena as well. Anyway, let's get to the review. All right, so I'm gonna be over here on this side of the screen, and I will try to have a screen recording as I go through the app on this other side. So I'm gonna open up the app right now, and as you can see, it does give you an indication whether or not your phone is connected to your watch or not. And in this case, I am connected, but I haven't found this icon to be a good indicator of whether or not your watch is actually gonna be connected. When you press on the menu, the first thing that kind of opens up, as you can see, Garmin Golf membership, there's something at the course, golf sims, scorecards, my bag, and so on. And the items that I personally use the most are my scorecards. And so looking at my scorecards over here, I can scroll through and see all the rounds that I've played over the times that I've been recording on the app. Last time I played at Metropolitan Golf Links. I played a decent round. I wouldn't say my best round, but let's go in and take a quick look. So you're gonna get an overview of your scores throughout the round, a summary of your stats as well. As you can see, I was attempting to make a lot of up and downs during my round here. And when you click on the actual holes, you can get a sense of where you were on that particular hole. I find this feature to be really, really helpful, especially when you're paired up with your watch. You don't need the CT10 sensors to be able to do this. If you have your watch set up correctly, then after every shot that you take, you can assign a club to the shot and it will get tracked in your app. And so this is fun for me. I like to kind of just go through the holes and see, you know, how did I do? Over here, you get a better sense also of kind of like what's going on with your different clubs, right? But we'll get into that a little bit later. One of the shortcomings is that there's no way that I see that you can track the length of your putt. So Garmin, I think, tries to estimate how long your putt is, but I can't move the location of the pin inside the app. And so that's a little unfortunate. I know in some other apps you are able to do that. All right, so that's a scorecard, right? And another thing that I personally like to use is just taking a look at my bag. Now, these are my yardages that have been calculated over the last, I believe, either 10 or 20 rounds. And so if you're looking at trying to get a better sense of your yardages, then you can go in here and get a sense of, okay, on the actual course, what are my yardages? And so this averages out all the different shots that you take on all different types of lines. So of course, you're gonna have a couple clubs where the yardage seems really long, and a couple times where you use that same club and you go really short. But the Garmin Golf app will average that out for you to give you your average total distance. Now, keep in mind, that's different from your carry yardage, right? And so all the yardages that you see on the screen currently are gonna be maybe minus a couple yards to account for rollout. All right, so that's nice to have. And then the performance stats. So right now, I am, like I said, fighting for my life to keep my single digit handicap. And I would even say that this is a 10 because you got to round up, right? But as you can see, I've used this for more than 110 18-hole rounds and also 41 9-hole rounds. And so the Garmin Golf app will give you some comments like your handicap is staying consistent or getting lower. It'll give you your average score over your 9 holes versus your 18 holes, right? And then this personally is where the app really falls short. The Garmin Golf app gives you average strokes gained, but this average strokes gained is really compared against folks who are your similar handicap. So for me, like, I don't feel like my drive is above average. I don't feel like my approach is slightly above average. I don't know if really my chipping is about average or slightly above average. And I wish I could see really where the weaknesses in my game are and where the strengths in my game are relative to a scratch handicap, because ultimately that's where I'm hoping to get to, and that's where a lot of golfers are trying to get to. And so being compared against folks who are my own, carrying the same handicap as me, isn't super helpful. Now, what is nice is that if you go into the view details, then you'll get a sense of your typical misses. In this one, I guess the shots aren't loading right now, but it's saying that 46% of the time I'm in the fairway, about 18% of the time I'm left, I am 35% of the time on right of the fairway, right? So that means that, you know, I can take a lesson from this, that maybe I should aim slightly more left when I'm set up in the box on the tee, right? Also, what's nice is that it does give you some breakdowns on your approach shots. And if you click on all clubs over here on the top right, you can look at your approach shots relative to a specific club. And so for my pitching wedge, for example, even though my green in regulations percentage is about 33%, for my pitching wedge, I typically get onto the green about 56% of the time, excuse me. And then I can look at just my shorter clubs in general. And if I add them all up, then I see that I, generally get it on the green about 60% of the time when I'm using my shorter irons. And then so on and so forth. I could use a selection for the longer clubs as well. The chipping is, this is the hard part, because the watch doesn't do a great job of knowing when you've hit a chip shot, because it's not a full swing. And so sometimes a lot of your chips are going to be missed. And so it's on you to go back in the app after your round is done and just double check, hey, were my chip shots recorded? But in this case, it tells me how many up and downs or sandies or how many missed chances to save par I have. And also here is a breakdown of how I do on short, medium, and long putts. But again, there's no way to change in the app or on the watch the location of the actual pin. So I don't quite know how accurate this breakdown is. And so that is a shortcoming of the app. All right, you just saw there that the app kind of just restarted, right? And so that's something that I've noticed occasionally, but not too many times. Unfortunate that happened in the middle of this video. There is a at the course menu item and a golf sim item if you have an R10 launch monitor. And I think that about wraps up the review of the Garmin Golf app. So like I said, I mean, if you're looking for what are my typical yardages, right? If you're looking for how did I do on a course? This is really helpful to have. But if you're looking for a better breakdown of areas of improvement, then I don't know if the Garmin Golf app is really going to give you that. There is also the Garmin Golf membership over here, and if you pay for more, then you get green contours that are given to you. And so if that's something that's valuable to you, that's certainly something that you can explore. Okay, so that is a quick summary of the Garmin Golf app. Like I said, it will do a fine job if you just want to take a look at how you did over your past couple rounds. And if you want a very general sense of how you're performing on the course in terms of stats. But if you're looking for something a little bit that's more detailed, I don't know if the Garmin Golf app is for you. And so if you're maybe a single-digit golfer trying to get to scratch, then you might want to look at some other golf apps to see if they're a better fit for you. But if you're just someone who is out there trying to get better, maybe to a 15 handicap or trying to even get to a 10 handicap, right? Then this app gives you all the information that you need. So different strokes for different folks, right? And I know plenty of folks who are really, really good golfers that still use the Garmin Golf app. And I know plenty of golfers who maybe don't need all the features of a different app that use that app. It could be a UI item, UI preference, or otherwise. So hopefully this gives you a quick overview of what you'll be using once you get into the Garmin ecosystem. And if you have any questions, please post them down below. I will try to get to them as soon as I can. All right, that concludes my video. Thank you again for joining Golf with James. Like I said, there's gonna be product reviews here, but also you can follow my journey to hopefully get to a scratch handicap. All right, thanks again for watching. See you for the next one.